But that's exactly my question. When you chose this form of dancing, when you started, this form of dancing was very, like contemporary was very new to India. Rather, a lot of Indians didn't even know what contemporary dancing is like, and
Yeah.
you revolutionized it. Why did you choose contemporary only? That's number one. And what do you think is contemporary dancing all about?
So the first question is that contemporary dancing happened to me by an accident. So I was more into modern dancing. So I'd come from America. I'd studied at the Alvin Ailey School for the summer school, done 3 months there, and then I'd studied a little bit of Graham, a little bit of Broadway Dance Center. So I was completely influenced with that modern dance. And I'd come back and I was also starting my institute. And then what happened was I started making small productions, and accidentally I did a piece which one German choreographer who was in Mumbai saw it. Her name was Susanna Linker. And she looked at it and said, "My boy, you seem to have a flair for contemporary dance." I said, "What? What?" This is contemporary dance. I said, "Okay." I had no clue. And then she says, "I really like your thought process." And she says, "Show me more of your work." And she started seeing my work and she says, "You realize that," I kept telling her it's modern. She says, "No, this is not modern dance. This is contemporary dance, what you're doing." So I was already somewhere finding my own language in dance. But I was not clear in my language. She says, "You're not clear. You're there, but you're not clear in your language." And there are masters who become very precise about how they use a certain body part to kind of show a certain emotion. Why don't you learn properly contemporary dance? And I said, "Wow, that would be great." I said, "Where?" Saying, "There's a very big festival in Vienna and you have to apply for the scholarship, but I will recommend your name." And it was me and my Maruk who was my assistant.
Wow.
And literally we were the first Indians to arrive there.
Oh my God. Wow.
In Europe. It was the biggest contemporary dance festival in the world.
Wow.
And it currently is going on today, and where I'm also teaching now in this is my 11th year of teaching there. So I went there as a scholarship student, learned from all the biggest masters. Even today I thank Susanna Linke and Catherine Simmons, who was a German consulate from Mumbai. I thank her for, helping me find that, sometimes people just come, they are like your angels, so farishte hote hain. They come and they take you, and I had no clue. I'm very grateful to Susanna Linke and Catherine Simmons. I'm saying this first time in an interview, I should have mentioned them many more times before. And it is because of them I went to Impulse Dance. I trained there. I studied with all the masters, from David Zambrano to Iñaki Aspilaga, to the Wim van de Kibiske's company, which is like a very big company in Europe. And I saw the kind of contemporary dance that was happening. I was amidst contemporary dancers, choreographers, teachers. It just blew my mind away.
Wow.
And the dance form was so beautiful because earlier, whatever dance form I knew, whether it's modern or classical ballet or jazz, it's very structured. Asa, Rahet, Sayatullah, Asa, you have to kind of really be formal. It's very formal. Right. And there are rules. So contemporary dancing comes from ballet and modern dance. But after you have learned the rules, you want to break the rules, right? So this is the time when you kind of, after you have done your ballet, you have done your modern, you have done all your classical training, then you're like, okay, but now can I free my body and let my body just dance the way it should, organically, and let it be really real. So contemporary dance is very organic. True. It's not artificial. Every time you lift your hand, you can't just lift your hand because you feel like lifting. It has to come from a current generated from the center of your body. So it's completely different. Plus, the principles of contemporary dance are completely against the principles of classical dance. Classical dance is all working against gravity. Okay. So in classical dance, all dancers, or even jazz, or even classical Indian dancers, they will work against gravity. अपने body को ज़मीन के gravity से चुंगल से निकालो and try to kind of almost show us floating. Right. Whereas contemporary dance says gravity you cannot deny. So why run away from it? Play with gravity. So find your way where you can use gravity to your advantage. Knowing the fact that if you put your hand up, if you just let it go, it's going to fall down any which ways. Exactly. Because gravity is going to act. And with gravity will come force. So the hand will go even further away. And from there you will find another direction. So what happens is you play with gravity and momentum. You play with the laws of physics.
Right.
Whereas with classical dance, you're fighting against the laws of physics.
Absolutely.
So it is so much more easier, it is so much more organic. And I just took to it like fish to water. I loved the dance form. I learnt it. I came back and I realized that I could integrate it with even classical dance forms and the Indian aspect of it. And I started finding a language which was different called Indo-Contemporary. And that's what I created for India. Contemporary dance was always there. And there were lots of Indian contemporary dancers also, but they were doing their work in certain ways that were not out there on television, reaching out to the masses. So I wouldn't call myself the creator of contemporary dance because that would be Toheen and that would be sacrilege. But I would definitely say I helped people, a large number of people, the masses, especially through television, realize the beauty of contemporary dance. And when I showed contemporary dance to the producers, they were like, we don't know, but we don't mind trying. And they were so nice of ZTV, and that time there were the creative directors Komal, Bimal, Ranjit, Ashish. These are the guys who actually said, "ठीक है, try कर ले तू." And I'm really grateful to Komal, Bimal, Ranjit, Ashish because these 4 people were the creative directors of Dance India Dance, and they made Dance India Dance what it is. And they allowed me to experiment. And they said, and once this experiment really was successful, and I did Tadap Tadap, that was my first contemporary performance for them. They were like, listen, this is really working for us. And if you do a storytelling, people will really enjoy it. So I started putting stories together. But even though I was allowed to do contemporary, I was still told to kind of, keep it little bit more towards so that people can understand, because contemporary dancing requires certain subtlety.
True.
It requires a certain intellect. So I had to kind of use a little bit of modern dance and contemporary dance and a little bit of balletic and ballads to kind of really make contemporary dance a little bit more popular. The real contemporary dance actually if you want to see, you have to come and see it live in my shows. Wow. Where I work with my contemporary dancers and we create the most bizarre stuff. Contemporary is really not completely what you see on my television shows, because there I still have to kind of follow to SNPs and make sure that everything is correct and in 3 minutes के अंदर सब कुछ निपटाना है. But when you come for my shows, you will really understand live shows where my dancers perform, where I choreograph them, mentor them. That is where the real contemporary dance happens.
Fantastic. But having said that, I feel even though you're not the founder of contemporary dancing, but you're definitely the flag bearer of the form in India, for sure, in the biggest way that we've seen.
Because television, is reaches the masses. So even if I do a small show in a theater, only 500 people will see it.
Right.
But if I do it in television, 5 million people see it.
Right.
So television has a big reach, and I'm really grateful for how television has really given us careers. Our dancers who are there in our shows have become really successful, and it has really changed the industry. The biggest problem for me was when I took up dance as a career, I was fighting कि कैसे इज्जत लेके आऊँ. How do I bring respectability to this profession? Through Dance India Dance, we created the awareness to the public कि how difficult it is to be a dancer.
Right.
What is the journey of a dancer?
Right.
How much he struggles, and dance does not need to be entertainment. Earlier dance was okay, entertainment, chamiyagiri, thoda bahut latka jhatka, and it was all entertainment, and more of it is borderline on being cheap.
Yeah.
With our reality shows, we showed the hard work, the skill, the artistry. The artistry was seen, and that's when people said, okay, now this is different. This is not just entertainment.
Exactly.
This is artistic, expression. And people started appreciating, respecting, and that changed the game. And I think it really changed the game. Today, dancers, people who like dance can really tell their parents, I want to become a dancer.
Wow.
They won't say, don't go. In fact, we have people coming and, parents pushing their kids, says, sir, train him to become. I said, I can't train him to become a dancer. He has to be the dancer. I can just be his vehicle. So we have a Terence Lewis Professional Training Institute. We don't teach public. We only teach professionals in our institute. And in the institute, we're very clear that you need to be hungry. You have to have the passion, not because you want to become famous, you want to become rich, because that will happen if you're really good, but because your soul, your energy is for dancing. So even at the Terence Lewis Professional Training Institute, which is one of the most premier institute and the #1 institute for dancers or for any professional who wants to make a career in dance and become serious about dance, they need to come to us, because we will train you in such a solid way that will make you one of the most amazing dancers. And I'm so proud of the number of students that have passed out professionally. Every year we have a very few but very good number of dancers who pass out, and the jobs they get and the success they have reached, and some of them are in my company and they dance so well. It's just amazing to see their journey.
Wow. But having said that, these dance reality shows also has one thing in common in a lot of them, is that you are judging most of them. Right from Dance India Dance to Jhalak Dikhla Ja.
Not Jhalak, but Dance India Dance.
Dance
Nach
India
Paliye,
Dance,
So You Think You Can Dance.
So You Think You Can Dance. Yeah. I mean, So You Think You Can Dance, I think was huge because
Huge,
that was
yeah.
the first time that they came to
India,
India.
yeah.
You know, you were judging with Madhuri Dixit, and must have been fantastic, I'm sure.
Fantastic.
How does it feel being a master judge to all these dance reality shows, because they look so difficult to be judged?
Very strangely, I enjoy judging shows.
Really?
I can do it till I die, I think. And I will do it till I die, till people tell me stop judging shows. I enjoy it because I feel it's so important to motivate contestants. It's so important to help contestants realize what they're doing well, what they're not doing well, how can they improve. You know, my critiquing is never destructive. I've never criticized anybody to destroy their confidence, because I feel, I totally believe in the concept of ABCD. Anybody can dance. That title was something I had patented and created for my dance classes, where I truly believe that if you teach somebody correctly, anybody can dance, because as human beings we have a certain frequency for music and dance in our body, all of us. It is just to be discovered and tapped. And that openness and that willingness, you know, most of the times we have too many blocks. So I totally believe in ABCD. So I love to help. I'm a teacher. I'm a complete teacher in that sense. I can look at somebody performing and say, okay, look, stop. That step, thoda, I want you to kind of go back, do it properly again. And I am like this. Like even when I'm doing my own choreography, I'm like, okay, no, let's go back. Let's do this really properly. I have this tendency to look at mistakes very easily, because it's been a part of my teaching process. When you're a teacher, you have to look at things very closely and guide your student and say, okay, no, pull this back. Okay, you're putting too much of energy. Okay, your arms are going all over the place. Find your center, find your balance. Okay, now give me the expression correct. So there are so many things that as a teacher, I do it on a regular basis. I'm doing it for 20 years. I still teach in my academy, in my professional training institute, because I love to interact with dancers, help them find their own, strength. And therefore, judging a show where I see people dancing, and I see sometimes people who are actors who have never been dancing, or dancers who are professional, I think, I love watching dance. I love, like if you, half the time on YouTube just watching dance.
Wow.
I just like watching all over the world, from Hawaii to China to, I'm just looking at dance videos constantly, because I enjoy dance. I look at Indian classical dances all the time, from Birju Maharaj's performances to Leela Sampson to Padmini Chittur, to everybody who has danced. I look at their videos and I say, okay, this is great, and I look at discovering dance through watching them, and therefore watching a dance performance where I'm getting paid to watch, I think it's a gift. It's the best thing to me. And I think, Bhagwan ne meri dua sun li hai, because it's a beautiful job. And I love to motivate, to encourage, to critique, to say this can change. Baba, you need to work on this. Yahan pe teri galti ho gayi. Next time I want to see you doing it better. Try changing this, you'll get it right. So I really enjoy that space. It comes very naturally to me because I've been doing it for 20 years.
Exactly.
I do it with my students all the time.
Exactly.
I do it with myself. I'm the biggest critique. The biggest problem with me is that whenever I look at myself, there's so many mistakes. Even the performance that you liked, I looked at it and I said, Galti 1, number 2, yahan par galti, number 3. There are 7 mistakes I've done.
Oh my God.
7 errors. It's like, if I was a judge, I would have said, Terence Lewis, 7 mistakes.
And you had a standing ovation for that.
Yeah, I guess, because, when you're a master, you can see all these
nuances.
The small nuances, the moments where I have slipped out of my performance zone and I have gone into technique and not gone into performance. See, marrying technique and marrying performance, it's very difficult. So you have to also be trained in such a way on a daily basis that your technique always is there in your body. And performance has to be driven from life experiences. So making sure that avari is sung in a certain temperament, with a certain current, with a certain, feeling, and not just, like making faces and,
Making sad.
That doesn't work. You have to draw it from an inner experience. You have to look at something that has touched you, that has made you feel cried, it has to be a real moment in your personal experience, that life experience from where you generate that current. You generate that current for your performance.
Right.
Otherwise, it becomes too fake, it becomes too artificial, and then people can see through it.
I think the best thing that all these dance reality shows have done is that they've given us an amazing judge
Thank you
who
so
we
much.
think can really judge. Because among all these, all these stars, all of them, if there's someone who knows all the technicalities, it's Terence Baba.
I've been given all kinds of
All kinds of
names.
Exactly.
I remember recently when Swami Ramdev ji came for the promotions of his thing on Nach Paliye, he looked at me and said, "You're a terrorist. You're not Terence. You're a terrorist."
Oh my God.
But dance ke terrorist ho tum. And I've got lots of captions like "Tension sir, aap hame tension dete ho." Google Chacha, and because Wikipedia of dance.
Oh my God.
All of that. So I think it's all a backhanded, compliment, and I think it's all okay because it's all good actually.
I'm going to actually ask you some very tricky, one very tricky question particularly. That among all these people that you've worked with, you've seen most of them perform, very, very closely. Who are your favorite dancers and actors in India? And who are your favorite choreographers in India?
Okay. My favorite actor, I know it's a very cliched answer, and I'll tell you why also, because many people don't tell you why. Madhuri to me is one of the most amazing performers because when you give her choreography, she learns it. And then somehow she magically transforms it as though she has choreographed
She's
it.
choreographed it.
When you see every other artist, be it, I don't want to mention names because they are brilliant dancers. Like we right now in the industry, we have the best dancers. Like no choreographer can complain because all the young boys and young girls who are there, they are well trained and they come with full of energy and they're very respectful towards choreographers and they do their job and they come for rehearsals. So nobody can complain. But unfortunately, I don't see them enjoying dance the way Madhuri and Govinda do. Govinda unfortunately is limited because he only came at an era where it was those kind of dance steps only happening and those kind of choreography happening. He didn't get exposed to the whole lot of choreographers, the next generation of choreographers. So, but still, in whatever he did, you could see he really enjoyed it.
Every small
He was into it. He didn't care whether the camera was on or not. That's what happens even with Madhuri. You realize that they are enjoying. Like the step has been given, they have learnt it. And now, I know it that's the sign of a true performer, where you can make it look like as though it's your own. And of course, you have the technique and the skills and the riyaz. You can't do this without being a known dancer. You have to have training.
I actually envy you so much because you've actually seen Madhuri perform on that one piece where she danced on Mohe Rang De, wearing jeans with that dancer. She was wearing jeans and a top, and she danced. What was that?
I had goosebumps. Even when I think of it, I have goosebumps now.
You came and you hugged her and all of that, and I was like, oh my God, what is that?
Yeah, because in our reality shows, we're not told कि ये होने वाला है.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always a surprise because they want to see us, natural reaction.
Right.
So they never tell us कि कौन आने वाला है, कौन सा नाम performance होने वाला है, because they want to see our immediate reaction. तो उनको वो natural reactions मिल जाते हैं ना, on the spot वाले. Otherwise it looks so rehearsed. So with this girl came and performed, and Madhuri wanted to kind of dance, and that girl called her, and she danced. I was like, my jaw dropped because no practice, not even practice,
and
like
jeans.
Otherwise for me it's like, okay, थोड़ा एक बार गाना सुनाओ, वो beat पकड़ने दो. She just went for it, man, and she was so graceful. That is something, and I told her, I said, how do you do it? She said, I just love to dance. And any moment you try to go to dance, you will go and dance.
Exactly.
That is, otherwise other actors are like, no, I don't want to, like you have to force them and all.
Right.
She's an ever ready battery because she enjoys it so much, and I really respect her because there's something very beautiful about her. Regarding choreographers, I think each of them are very good in a certain genre. For example, Saroj Khan is just brilliant in what she does, with classical or mujra, or when it comes to songs which are like in the Nawabi style, of or the Lucknowi Gharana of Kathak. She's brilliant in Indian and semi-classical, like really good, or item semi-classical numbers. When it comes to romantic songs, hands down Farah Khan. Because when Farah, you see all of Farah's songs in choreography, in love songs. I look at Kuch Kuch Hota and all those things. Forget the movies. I look at the choreographer, and I look at the song, and I'm like, wow! Like she has made a story in a song, and she connects so beautifully small stories. And this is not once or twice. She's done it repeatedly. Her picturization, her sense of Suraj Hua Madham is just iconic for me.
Absolutely.
Even what she did recently for Divana? No. What's it, Shah Rukh Khan's film with Kajol again? Dilwale. Those songs are like amazing how she has choreographed those songs. And the visual beauty is brilliant. So I think she is brilliant in love songs. Vaibhavi is brilliant in stage numbers. Like what she did in Malang and what she did with, with Dhoom 3, brilliant. The songs were brilliantly choreographed. Even Kamli, how she choreographed it, Vaibhavi, superb. Or even Dhoom 2, Crazy Kiare, all those things, Vaibhavi is brilliant, and technically she's a very good technician with camera. Remo, very good for, a lot of other songs like, like a Masti Wala song, big number of dancers, like how he did Selfie Le Le Re. And of course ABCD, where he didn't choreograph, but he was the director of the show, and he had the sensibilities to choreograph it very, very well. Even how he did Baji Rao Mastani, those songs so beautiful, beautifully done. So there Remo scores very high. Who else is there? Bosco, amazing for the cool hip hop vibe numbers. They're like Kala Chashma, he gets it like he's got the swag. Bosco is my like cool friend. Totally. Bosco, I love you. He's got the swag. He's the boy. He's got it on. So he's very good with those kind of numbers. And I think each one of them have their little gifts and little, a certain kind of a knack for certain things. So I think they really do a very good job. So
I'm going to put you into a little fix where we play this small little game, because you heard just too many good things about people. So now I'm going to put you into a place where you'll have to answer me only with one answer.
Oh, what are you going to become the Karan Johar?
This is a game which is called as If Only.
If Only.
Yeah?
Okay.
It's very different from what rapid fire is.
Okay.
So if only there was one person whose dance you could keep watching forever, it would be? No explanations, just one answer.
Prabhu Deva.
Okay, that's a great answer. If only there was one actor you would like to choreograph for forever, it would be?
Madhuri.
Wow. If only there was one place you could live in at forever, it would be?
I think in India, but in a nice small little village somewhere far away. Like,
Okay.
not like in the crowded city.
Not in Bandra West.
No. It's just not in Bombay. I would probably go out of Bombay and live in a nice little farm.
If only you could have one food item forever without thinking of a diet, it would be?
Chaat. I love chaat. I love pani puri. I can
Okay.
eat it every day.
Awesome.
Actually, fruits. I'm a fruit addict.
Okay.
I love to eat fruit any time of the day.
Also, if only there was one fashion item or clothing that you could wear for forever, it could be?
Denims, yeah.
Denims.
Yeah.
Super.
Very comfortable denims, yeah.
And if only there was one song you could keep dancing yourself to forever, it would be?
One song. One song is so limiting, yeah. I think it was Teri Diwali, but I would say Avari.
Oh, fantastic.
So it was easy, not so bad.
Not bad at all, and quick answers. I'm amazed. So before we let you go, we have a small gift for you to give you.
Okay.
This is from a brand called Hastalikit.
Okay.
We give you this wonderful mug.
Okay.
That has it has a Marathi song written onto it,
Okay.
which I hope you really like.
I'm sure I'm going to Google it and YouTube it. Nice.
And
Hastalikit, thank you.
And yes, I'd like to ask you if you'd like to say anything for your fans or aspiring dancers to your camera. Anything, piece of advice or anything that you want to say?
I just say that this is my slogan and this is for all of you. Love what you do what you love. That's the most important thing. But above all, be realistic, be practical. Keep your feet on the ground and your head in the skies.
Superb. And lastly, how does it feel on being with hashtag with Abhyangh?
Superb. I love the questions you ask, Abhyangh. You're very, very generous, and you let me speak so much. You should have just told me to shut up many times, because I can talk forever about dance. So thank you for your generosity and for allowing me to kind of, be on the show, and all the best to you. And I think it's a great endeavor that you're doing with hashtag Abhyangh. I think it's going to kind of have its own movement, because we know digitally everything is going, the world is going digital.
That's right.
And slowly we're going to move from our television boxes to our own
Mobile
mobile television
You're almost
screens.
there right now.
Almost there, yeah. So yeah, good luck to you and all the best.
Thank you so much, and thanks for being on the show.
Pleasure.
You've been super. We loved watching you.
Thank you so much
And
for all your love.
there's something that we do, which is the hashtag sign to the camera.
Okay.
So before we sign out with Terence Lewis, like we've never heard him before, for the last time today, it's a hashtag
Hashtag
with Abhyangh.
with Abhyangh.